WWE has begun teasing an interesting direction for the Vision, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out what's new with Cody, Cena, and more. Starting things off with a big update for John Cena's final match that is set to take place on December 13th. A lot of rumors have circulated about Cena's final match for several months, but Cena's last match will officially take place at Saturday night's main event. A lot of fans were gutted about that because they felt like that just doesn't feel like a prestigious event for John Cena to have his final match at. Other fans were concerned because Saturday night's main event is usually spammed with ads and tends to cut off the ending of the show every time. So that was another concern, just how much would we see of John Cena's last match, and will it be on commercial for half the time? And will the closing moments of his career just abruptly be cut off at the end of the night? Well, some reports have been claiming that John Cena's farewell at the end of the program will not be cut off the same way Goldberg's was, so we can only hope for that to be true. WWE also did a press release this week for that December 13th show of Saturday night's main event. They released plenty of promotional material and graphics that, of course, showcase John Cena as the forefront of every single one. Triple H even made some headlines for a promise he made about what to expect on December 13th. Triple H promised that Cena's final farewell match will honor his legacy in a big way and will give him a send-off that will surely be unforgettable. The details of John Cena's final match have not been released quite yet, but that's the promise that Triple H is making, that whatever they have planned will be worthy enough to send off John and will be unforgettable. John Cena's final opponent still remains a mystery. The only individual who had their name all over the reports as a possibility to be John Cena's final opponent in recent months has been Gunther. Gunther has been the only superstar to repeatedly be mentioned as John Cena's final opponent. That's not confirmed, but that's the rumor that keeps coming up in recent months. The Gunther matchup seems realistic and seems like it has a legitimate shot of happening, but you got other fans that are really dreaming big for John Cena's final opponent. Even though he's under AEW contract, a lot of fans have been discussing the idea of Edge making a short WWE return to face off against John Cena one last time. Cena's retirement has been featuring him interacting with a majority of his old rivals, but the big missing piece there is certainly Edge. It kind of feels insane to have Cena retire without one last interaction with Edge. So even though it's pretty much impossible, that's a final opponent that a lot of fans are thinking of. The other more impossible final opponent for John Cena is The Rock. It's a theory we've covered before in recent months, but this would serve as the rubber match between John Cena and The Rock, while also serving as the perfect resolution to their unfinished storyline from earlier this year. Fans, legends, critics, and even John Cena's own father have all slammed the story of John Cena's heel turn and partnership with The Rock for making no sense and lacking logic. So having one last interaction between The Rock and Cena would help cover up that mess that was left behind from Elimination Chamber. So those impossible final opponents for John Cena seem very unlikely to actually take place, but a final opponent like Gunther does seem like a bit more realistic. The final match is still a few months away, but hopefully we start to get a better idea of who that final opponent will be, hopefully by mid to late November. Hopefully it's announced well ahead of time so that the build-up will be nice, and an incredible final story for John Cena could be formed. Randy Orton has been a hot topic of discussion lately after fans and his own wife called out WWE for the questionable usage of Randy throughout 2025. Despite being a legend, Randy has sort of felt like he's been in a supporting role all year long, outside of his brief feud with John Cena. Randy finally got involved in a new story on September 26th edition of SmackDown after he came out to save Cody Rhodes from an attack from the Vision. Not only is Randy serving as an ally to Cody right now, but the moment also appeared to foreshadow Randy Orton as an opponent for Cody. After making the save, Randy picked up the WWE title, looked at it long and hard, and then handed it back to Cody Rhodes. Fans instantly joked about the moment and turned it into a meme because they've been using this same foreshadowing tactic between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes for a long time now. There's been countless segments over the last year of Randy staring at the title backstage, staring at it on Cody's shoulder during in-ring segments, and so on. So after doing it for so long, fans joke that Randy Orton is never going to make a move. He's just going to keep staring at the title. And the fans got a funny point there because it's true. They've been teasing Randy staring at the WWE title since 2024, and not much has been done to advance this story. But maybe this time, Randy is about to finally betray Cody Rhodes in the near future, because the story certainly writes itself. Just think of the type of year Randy Orton has had. In May 2025, he gets a WWE title match against John Cena, but R-Truth came out to save John Cena and screw Randy Orton out of the match and the title. Randy never got a chance to get a rematch after that screw job. Then, fast forward just 1 month later in June, and another screw job takes place. Randy Orton faces Cody Rhodes in the finals for the King of the Ring tournament, a tournament that gives you a promise shot at the WWE title at SummerSlam. Randy is once again getting close to defeating Cody Rhodes, but Cody surprisingly cheats by using the exposed turnbuckle, and Randy loses the match. So between unfairly losing the WWE title match in May and Cody straight up cheating against him back in June, it feels like the writing is on the wall for Randy Orton to backstab Cody Rhodes. Randy never forgot about the cheating tactics Cody used on him, so he makes Cody pay for that once again, targeting the WWE title. That heel turn would serve as the spark to get Randy Orton back on track, back towards the top of the card. Also, not to mention that the SmackDown roster is pretty thin at the moment for when it comes to having top heels. You've got Drew McIntyre, but Cody already beat him, so who's really left there on SmackDown? The top heel spot on that roster is certainly up for grabs, so if Randy does turn heel in the near future, he'll pretty much instantly become the top heel on SmackDown. WWE started teasing the idea that Seth's own group doesn't really respect him and makes decisions without running it by him first. Cody Rhodes was the first person to really tease this idea during a recent interaction with Seth, where he asked him if everything really did run through him. Cody questioned Seth on if he really allowed Paul Heyman to reunite with Brock Lesnar and announce him to the ring at WrestlePalooza. Seth did hesitate for a moment, but then started yelling about how everything does run through him. So even though he claims everything is his call to make, that fashion in how Seth reacted and lashed out at Cody's question does make you sit back and really wonder if that's true or not. Like they always say, a boss, someone's in charge, shouldn't have to be loud to prove that he's the one with all the power. The most powerful bosses are often the ones that aren't so loud, aren't so animated. So, for Seth to react to Cody's question in that crazy way, it does make you think that maybe things happen in the Vision without them running it by Seth first. We know that when Seth was out of action with his fake injury, Bron Breakker verbally said out loud that he was calling the shots now that Seth was out. So it looks like everything that Bron has done in those few weeks without Seth was not ran by Seth at all. And Brock and Paul Heyman's recent interactions with each other appears to be another big thing that was not ran by Seth. So the group is currently clicking, but Cody's point does make you wonder if this issue will continue to grow to the point where the group won't have any respect left for Seth. Remember that Cody was the one that predicted the fate of Roman and the Bloodline, and he was right. So it does make you wonder if Cody just predicted the fate of Seth and the Vision there in that moment. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.